Hello, Midgardians, and welcome to Flick and Reel's weekly Marvel reviews. This week we are breaking down Episode 5, Journey into Mystery. Let's meet our breakdown connoisseurs. We got several special guests today for a very special episode. Bring down this screen here. Hi, how's it going, everyone? Mrs. Jackal joining the show here. Everyone welcome Lauren to our first review. We've wanted to have her on every week, but it's just been something or another until this time. So thanks for being on, baby.
Happy to be here.
All right. And then for a limited time, he has an expiration date. We are bringing Matt Thomas to the show.
Love how you put that.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. Just got off work a little bit ago, about to be on What the Show in about a half hour for their Batman extravaganza, and yeah.
It's always a good time to have a Batman extravaganza. Never a bad day for it.
Never.
All right, straight from watching with Wingblade, we have Mr. Beyblade. How's it going, Sean?
I should unmute my mic. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Oh, you could leave it muted. It's fine.
Nobody wants to hear you anyways.
All right, and then we have our resident punching bag, Colin Morris. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, no, he actually is muted.
Always. That is Colin Morris as ever.
Outside of the Bonanza, I think this is your first time on the show, yeah?
Yeah, bud. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you here. And punctual as always, we have our final guest on today's show, and that is the one, the only, Chris Anthony Lopez.
Yo,
he's here.
And thank you so much.
Finished it. Just got done with it.
I'm so glad you're here, Chris, because now everybody has. Can we do this? No, we can't do that. We have to do this. That's now you can see everyone's names, so that's pretty cool. Hey. We couldn't do that without you. So thanks for showing up. If not for only that reason.
Word, I'll take it.
All right. Like I said before, we're here to talk about Episode 5, A Journey into Mystery, which is a fun title. Because I recognized right away when I saw it, if anyone's familiar with this title of comics, boom, Journey into Mystery. You see Loki right there. And that's been the title of a few different Loki runs in the comics. So that was cool to see. And we'll talk about that costume.
It's Richard E. Grant.
Hey, spoilers.
That's sweetheart.
Not a spoiler at the end of last episode.
My king.
Yeah, well, spoilers for those people that haven't started watching the show yet.
Then why would they be watching this?
Why are you here?
I don't know.
His casting got announced
now forever hold, or it's all your fault.
All right. Well, the crew is all here, and I want to take this time to issue our first and only warning, our spoiler warning for the Richard E. Grants of the world and such. If you don't want to be spoiled, just leave a like right now. Come back later and make sure to subscribe. Also, I know everyone's excited to dive into Loki. However, one last thing, and that is this. Everyone here has their own channels, and I would love to compensate everyone for being here. So if you guys could visit our Streamlabs link, do a little donation, and we could spread the love. So
I take schmeckles.
Oh, I guess it would help.
Toss a coin to your witchers, please.
You pay me in galleons.
Toss a schmeckle to your Colin, and there's the link right there in the bottom right corner.
Pay me in Beskar. That's cool too.
Streamlabs.com/flickinreel. There it is. All right, guys, so the way that we usually start these shows is we do a little circle around the table, and everyone gives their 30 to 60-second kind of microcosm review of the show. I want to start with Lauren because it's her first time on the show.
Pressure.
Hi, Lauren.
And ladies first.
Hi.
That's the reason you start with
That's also the reason, yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to give both the obvious reason and a very legitimate
Chivalry
reason.
isn't dead, folks.
That's right. That's why we're together, because I let her talk first.
That's right.
Anyways, I don't want to interrupt you, but I just...
By the end of the show, Jesse will be single.
We already got one dislike on the video. How about that, Jesse? Holy shit.
This is also the first episode we didn't watch together. I think.
It is.
Yeah, so
it is.
Interesting. I haven't gotten to hear your full breakdown yet.
She said, "Wow, was a lot quieter this time."
There wasn't any snoring.
So, Jess, just FYI, you turned on subscriber only mode?
Yeah, because I want to encourage people to subscribe to talk,
Yeah,
you should be talking about chat if you're not subscribed. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I like how it started out with shame.
Wait, that's a thing?
It is. So anyways, if you got questions for the group here and also for our co-host here, leave it in the comments and in the Streamlabs, mostly Streamlabs. Do that first. Lauren, I'm sorry, baby.
That's okay. You were gonna let me finish, but then you didn't.
Yeah,
so-
but then I didn't.
He's
So
the white Kanye. It's okay.
the screen's gonna go gray for a second. Ignore it. I'm opening a page. But
My initial instinct was the longer this show goes on, the more chaotic it gets, and the more chaotic Loki himself gets.
that's true.
He's fallen apart at the seams. He's looking good while doing it, but the man's having a rough couple days,
He's looking
months.
very well
He's not
tailored while
sure.
doing it.
But I'm enjoying watching the chaos unfold.
Absolutely. And I second that. I'll give my thoughts probably last. Let's move it over to Chris. What do you think of
Oh, geez.
Journey into Mystery?
So this episode, I heard mixed reactions going into it, and I was scared because I didn't know the direction they were going to go into, especially now that, oh, where's our Loki at? Oh my god. And I really, really enjoyed it. We didn't hit ourselves over the head too much with too much of the like finale-esque things that are going to happen with the TVA and what's going to happen. And we got a lot of inklings towards characters' motivations, like Renslayer. She admitted, and throughout, if I can just jump in for a minute, like even she doesn't know what the hell's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on, and I kind of like that we don't have a true central villain behind this. It's just the masquerade of the TVA.
I'm gonna disagree on that one. Right?
I don't know how much I trust that. Yeah.
I like how
because-
Matt's like, I'm going to give you 30 seconds and the debates are going to start right now.
That's
Okay.
typical Matt. He doesn't let me finish.
Sean even said because Sean in that
He
that was
said something because you said something.
Yeah.
Sean
I'm
was
gonna
letting me
say-
finish.
I was gonna wait.
Hey, Colin,
Yes,
what'd you think
thank
about
you.
this episode?
Yes, please, Colin. I'll stop talking.
Look, I have not had a platform to speak on this show, so I'm gonna take every second that
All
I
right,
can.
all the way back
It
to
might
episode
not be
1.
very
Let's
many
go.
seconds.
Let's bring it all the way back.
Yeah, 15 seconds left.
Do you see my name tonight? This shit is happening. Like, I have been waiting since Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, my boy! That
For
is the
this
show.
shit. Like,
That is the
my
show.
okay, this is getting kind of deep for a second, but my roommate from college last week just asked me to be a groomsman in his wedding. First time that's ever happened. Like, I've never had that happen before. And
This show's getting a split timeline right now.
this show
This
was-
is relevant.
but
to this
Kang
episode.
was our thing. We always knew that Kang would eventually show up in the MCU. And this week, it's like, Kang! No, that was Chronopolis. I'm done.
No, we need to. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm just picturing Leonard Nimoy or Zachary
That's
Quinto
exactly
going, Kang! For some reason, I'm dyslexic, so I read this, and I thought he said, but Avengers meh is amazing. But yeah, Earth Mightiest Heroes is incredible.
Always we will fight as one.
That show
That
kicked
is
ass.
our cat's favorite show.
It is.
This
Our
is favorite show.
Goose only likes animated shows, but especially Earth Mightiest Heroes. Sean, move on to you.
I'll take my time to say hi to Soul, hi to the chat,
Hi,
Maria,
Soul.
and Pat, of course. I liked it overall. It had some good action in it, but it also had a lot of emotional bits, especially towards the end when you could really feel the characters connecting to each other again. There's a little bit of flow from, like, especially when, Sylvie lands in the void, or prior to the void. What do they call that? The end of the timeline.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, what if he's dead? And then they just show up and he's there. And it was kind of like weird the way that interaction was. But other than that, like, it was a solid episode. And there's so many Easter eggs too. And I want Pat to point out every one of them in the chat. Just line them up so we can talk about them one at a time.
Absolutely. I was trying to be quiet right there because I saw my internet wavelength going like do.
Oh yeah, you look like a transformer.
Perfect.
We
Not
love to hear.
Not as much now. Not as much now.
It's better.
good. All right. So Matt, aside from arguing with everybody on the screen, how did you feel about the episode?
No. Sean and I seem to be on the same wavelength. I enjoyed it. I watched it for it. Like, my girlfriend spent the night, and the first thing we did is we got up, turned on Loki, and then we went back to
Bury
sleep.
the lead, why don't you?
Yeah, we needed to know that part of the information. Thank you.
My point is, like, we got up. And
Matt's
that's
spirit just
when
left
we
his
get,
body.
no, I'm just like, the point is, first thing we did when we got up was watch Loki, because
But did you guys share a magical blanket together? That's the real
Oh,
question.
Jesus Christ.
Was it cozy enough?
Yes,
Yeah.
was it
Because-
Or was it
Yeah,
more of a
we-
tablecloth?
So the way my room's set up is my TV's right here. My bed is long ways over there. So I throw all my pillows against the wall. I throw all my pillows against the wall, and it becomes like a giant couch in my eyes. So yeah, it was nice and cozy, and we just kicked back and watched Loki, and then fell asleep again afterwards.
Sure.
I like this episode a lot. Sometimes I really try to watch the episode the second time because I always feel like I like it more second time because I'm so just hammered tired when I watch these. They always seem better the second time. So I haven't gotten to watch it a second time, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna binge, I think, the whole show again. But I like this episode a lot. I knew Richard E. Grant would be one of my favorites. I didn't expect to like Alligator Loki as much as I did.
Was he not the
Right.
best one?
And so I really think that this is just the beginning of that alligator's career, and I really think we're going to see him take off. I think there's
I want
nominations in his future.
I want his spin-off.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a good time. I think I see a good amount of people like crapping on Kid Loki. It was a small role. I think the kid did fine.
I enjoyed Kid
Yeah.
Loki, honestly.
I did too. I did too. I really did too.
You're muted, Colin, by the way.
The people that are crapping on Kid Loki are the ones who, like, I was not one of them crapping, but I had expectations for this show to end with Loki taking Loki Laufenson and being Kid Loki in the Young Avengers, and I think there was a bit in those people that felt like,
Well,
can I curse on this channel?
yeah,
Fuck yeah.
moderation.
Okay.
All right.
Who the hell is that kid? And
That's
like,
a curse? Hell?
okay, I backed it down. I backed it down after he said in moderation. Who the hell is that guy? And why is he not like a star? Like
Just
that
wanna
kid
say-
is a nobody. It could have been like it could have been the younger brother from Game of Thrones. It could have been any of those kids. It could have been anyone. But
Well,
it was
and how
just some
about-
random.
When they're all talking about their Nexus events, and
So
it's like,
that's
what did
what
you?
I'm saying.
What did you do?
I
killed
audibly gasped when he just so casually was like, "I killed Thor."
Yeah.
I let out.
Me too.
I let out some explicit words.
I don't know why, but when I saw that kid, I was like, tell me why I feel like this could have been Jackie Dillon Grazer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
See, but
go ahead.
I think what we outside of the Florence Pugh casting, I think what we've seen is Marvel taking more of these. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say
Exactly.
that. Thanks, Monty.
But
That's Pat, right?
yeah, that's Pat.
Okay.
What we've seen, we saw outside of Florence Pugh and somewhat with Wyatt Teller is with them setting up the Young Avengers and the Thunderbolts / Dark Avengers / whatever you want to call
Whatever you
them.
want to call it. Same thing.
That they're getting these lesser known actors for the most part. I mean, the setup for Patriot was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Nobody
It begs the
knew.
question.
Yeah,
Is New Avengers going to be Disney, or like the Young Avengers going to be a Disney Plus Avengers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Dope.
I'm pretty sure
I'm game.
that's what's been.
Bring
Yeah.
Well, because
So
also
that-
Haley Steinfeld.
yeah,
Disney
she's
Plus.
gonna right, and then
Oh,
they
yeah,
can
sorry,
bring
I
the
forgot-
twins
I forgot
in.
Haley Steinfeld. Yeah,
If
wait.
we actually get Mephisto in
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and he actually oh god, Scarlet Witch is actually able to manifest their souls for real from him, then
There's
they can
two-
be in it too.
There's two Young Avengers we're actually going to get to see cinematically first. One being in Doctor
Nathaniel
Strange. What's that?
America Chavez.
Yeah, America
Oh,
Chavez. Thank you, Chris.
Nathaniel Richards.
And then also
Cassie Lang.
Snatcher in Quantumania.
Cassie Lang. Yeah.
Well, we've
And
already
Miss-
seen Cassie Lang technically, so I was.
And
I
Miss
was about to
Marvel.
do stuff, and you get Catherine
But
Newton.
not the
to be
Yeah.
recasted one.
But,
yeah,
not the recast.
not
no.
the wrong
But also,
age
we forgot
weirdness.
we're getting Kamala Khan.
Yeah, Kamala Khan. Yeah, Miss
with
Marvel.
Miss Marvel
Twice.
with-
Confirmed.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's clearly the setup there, and it's just like for
I
most
love that
part, they're going
the
with these
shows and the
more
movies
known
are really
actors.
going to operate like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me was the thing that Kevin Feige is just sitting there like, if you can't see me, I'm licking my lips. Like that guy has like the bad.
Oh, I was
Imagine
looking.
like The sentence that everyone says is like, it's your dream to like when you go to work, it doesn't feel like work. That dude is the photo next to that sentence, and he just walks in and just he works with the most amazing people, like Kate Herron, like rolling over the show. Like this whole show.
Kate was the one that did the music for this episode, right?
No,
Or
she
no?
directed it.
She's
She's
directing
the
everything.
director. Yeah, she's the showrunner. Yeah.
just
She's
gonna-
the bomb. Yeah. But like, this is
I'm
the
not
kind
in
of thing,
SEL
though.
with the Disney Plus question.
This is the kind of thing that spurned off the guy that Matt, who's the guy that did Falcon Winter Soldier.
That was
Malcolm
woman.
Malcolm
Spellman was the showrunner.
right, which then just got him Captain America 4.
Yep.
Looks
So
like the
like,
music
this
was
is the
done
kind
by
of thing that like
Natalie
you could,
Holt.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
You could definitely see her doing or getting I mean, hell, a Loki movie, like I don't care. Like Loki and Thor, put them together, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, or like I don't care. Just more of Loki. Please don't kill him.
Bringing
Don't
it
kill
back to this episode, though, because you brought up Natalie Holt, the music has always
Yes.
been fire for this show, but this episode was one of the first times where I was just like audibly like, give me the score for
it
this.
slaps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At the end, when Sylvie and Loki were about to fight the Eliath, is that what it was called? The Eliath? And yes, it needs to be about. I awed at Alligator Loki. I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but I did.
Loki
But
Dow.
He was cute for some
And
reason.
he was
right?
cute as hell. And when he bit off the other Loki's hand, oh, so heartwarming.
President-
When he meet Rocket, I imagine him meeting Rocket Raccoon and then him just being like, yo,
Best friends with him.
I'm
Oh,
gonna put a rocket launcher on your back, bro.
right.
And he's gonna be like, yes.
They were all giving their backstories, and I'm like, yo, I want to know where that guy came from. That's my question. What was that Nexus event?
And what if he could like telepathically like
He ate the
send
wrong
his
cat.
thoughts?
I
He's
wonder
from
if-
Cat.
Oh
I
yeah,
wonder if
I
they
thought they were just playing
tried-
around. Was that the legit reason why he
I
ate the
mean,
wrong
It
cat?
sounded like it.
I think the only person that was lying was boastful Loki because he's
Yeah.
oh shit. Okay,
I wonder if they
and
tried some voice for Alligator Loki
I
or
need
not,
this.
and then
I need
took it
I
out.
need
Maybe it
Throg
didn't work
versus Kang.
Word.
right.
But the score, Jesse. When Sylvie and Loki were going to fight the Eliath, I was like, holy hell! The theme, like what you were saying, like Colin, the theme slaps, and when,
Yes.
when the theme kicked in, and they were both like, wind all. Yeah,
It's a big
Nice.
dog.
that,
If you look at it
that's
right,
a big bark.
it's a
Uh-huh.
big what are those fluffy dogs? Poodle. It's a big
Yeah,
poodle.
It looks like a poodle.
Now that you
It's a
say
big
that, I can't
demon
unsee
poodle.
it.
I can't
See,
unsee the demon poodle now.
with the-
Yeah.
with the
when
heart
I
of
looked
gold.
at it, I saw Skullcrawler from Skull Island, but now that
Yes.
you say demon
No,
poodle,
it's-
that's where that's
Ooh,
demon
yeah.
poodle.
Demon poodle.
That's it. That's it.
What I wanted to bring up about this is I have such a sore spot about Galactus and Parallax that I was like, did they just cloud another villain? So I was so pleasantly surprised when I did my research. I was like, great, he's always been a cloud. Perfect.
He's just a cloud.
I thought
And then-
thought when in the beginning of the episode they said that was Galactus. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I
No.
feel the same though, but they made it
Never
work.
again.
They made it work though.
And then the star of the show.
Yes.
Oh, look
He
at
stole
him.
every time they talked about him. The scene immediately stolen.
Wait, Jesse,
wanna
do you
know-
do you have the behind the scenes picture of Alligator Loki?
I
Please
don't.
don't. Bro.
Can you? I don't.
You
I
can
don't
share
know. I
it.
haven't
Just go
even
ahead and
seen it.
share it.
It was on
Do you
her
share screen?
Twitter earlier.
It was on her Twitter, yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't.
Also,
didn't
the
see it.
conversation of Mobius being like, "Is it even a Loki?" Like,
green,
or,
isn't
and then he's like, "Well, actually, that would make it a pretty Loki.
Even more
It'd be
of a
pretty.
Loki.
It'd be more of a Loki."
Yo, can I just say I laughed that I laughed that Mobius could have basically gotten out of there whenever he wanted to. When I saw the time pad towards the end, I'm like, wait, the time pad came with him?
No, it came with Sylvie.
It came
Sylvie
with
Yeah,
had
Sylvie.
it the
we
whole
gave it
time.
to him.
Yeah,
But
so
I had an issue with that because either she was like directly disintegrated into that spot.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Just
Why
when you
do
thought
I
it
love
couldn't
it?
get cuter.
I
Yeah,
love
right.
it even more now.
Looks like a
It
demon.
literally has googly eyes on it.
Yep. It's perfect.
This is
Perfect little
this
plushie.
is officially Florida Loki, right?
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
where
yeah,
he's
yeah.
from.
Florida.
It's Loki, man.
Florida.
Florida.
Now, let's
What's up,
take a
Brennan?
second to talk about Easter eggs because there's one Easter egg.
I
Throg
got a
was
whole
great.
list.
Throg was great, but I'm going to bring up the number one. You all know what it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's the number one? Boy, do I have a show for
Yeah.
you.
Big hot.
The Thanos copter cannot be beat. I'm sorry.
How?
Oh, you wanna
obvious is
bet?
that? Like, of course, if they're gonna do the Thanos copter, they just put a helicopter there and slap Thanos' name
Pull
on
me
it.
up full screen.
Yes,
I know what that is.
sir.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
I
That
definitely do.
is
but-
Kang Industries. When Kang took over Stark Industries and took over Earth.
There's
This man is
confirmation.
talking about one thing and one thing only.
I know he's got a
Dang.
mission. Colin's on a mission. There's two
Colin,
levels
I
of
love
Easter
you,
eggs
buddy.
though. There's the quality Easter egg that's like this is hinting towards something upcoming. Then there's the you never thought you would see it. And so
Yeah,
we're
that
Frog
was like
Thor
in
right now.
one.
Frog Thor.
Yeah, that's what
Thanos
yeah.
copter is like a one-shot thing. That happened like one time in a comic. That's
Right.
pretty.
You- I just that's one of my favorite things. And then can we talk about our favorite moments with this man? Because
All
way
of them. All of them.
His end,
existence.
his end is fantastic, and it was heartbreaking when you hear what
wasn't ready
what
for it.
caused him to get pruned. I was like, wait, what?
Yep.
yeah,
I
he's
was
like, I don't want to be alone anymore. And like, oh
Yeah.
nope, you're supposed to be dead.
steps off planet.
He just decided
Also,
that
I
and it
I
goes back-
see your
you got another
Thanos copter and raise you the head of the living tribunal.
I mean,
What? That's
Yeah.
the head of the living tribunal. 3-headed thing. Let's
Can we
go.
just-
This is what happens when you bottle up 5 episodes for Colin
Yeah.
all at once.
he's ready. He said, "I'm going
He's
to
been
come in.
waiting
I'm
for
going to
this
come in hard and
I'm
fast."
coming in hot. That's hot.
If
So-
we pan
Kang.
just slightly to the right, we're gonna see Charlie Day over there on the wall.
I
with
I
red
swear,
strings attached.
when
and
I
everything.
Uh-huh.
when I saw the living tribunal head, I saw the Force ghost of John Schnepp, just like.
Literally what I thought. Like
Exactly, right?
he dropped that in there. He was like,
He-
'cause-
Like
John
literally,
Schnepp has been
I could
talking
hear
about-
Schnepp go sweaty.
Yeah, he was talking about the living tribunal back during like 2014, the first Guardians movie.
The answer's no, Soul. The answer's no.
It's called-
He's not gonna. He's
Is
not
he
gonna be
ever
okay.
But no, guys.
okay, and
I'm
then
guys, I'm gonna
the
depart
USS
now.
Eldridge.
Are you out of here? Are you out of here, Matt?
Yeah,
Oh.
I got it. I'm gonna
Darn.
depart now. But Colin,
I-
keep on bringing this energy. I love it.
I have more.
Let
Keep
him
it
out.
sweaty, buddy. Keep it sweaty. Bye, Matt.
Okay, does everybody know the story of the USS Eldridge?
I only
No.
because of the Loki reviews.
Okay, so
please
the
enlighten
USS
everyone.
Eldridge is a story told by, let me make sure I got the man's name right, an urban legend known as the Philadelphia Experiment, where a man named Carlos Miguel Allende alleged that the USS Eldridge was transported to another dimension and its crew was killed by vicious aliens. So you can see where a Loki writer's room would have found that and picked up on it
Yo.
immediately.
Between that
That's
and DB
awesome.
Cooper, they're having a ball with this show.
This is a blast. And you
This,
can,
this show rules.
it's like
It's like
every time
my
I open
perfect
up the menu, it's like, or every time the logo comes up, it's like it's like X-Files is having a lovely love child with
With the Marvel comic book.
with the Twilight Zone. Like every episode is like its
Well, it's
own
like my
like.
dream. It's Loki and true crime mixed together.
Yeah.
What
This
what
is
more could you ask
literally
for?
X-Files. This is the two of them. Like, just if tell me you wouldn't watch what's the actress's name?
Gillian Anderson.
No, well, yes, from X-Files, correct.
DiMartino?
Yes,
Oh,
from
okay.
yes.
Why can't I think of her first name?
Sophia.
Sophia, yep.
Yes, her and Tom
She
Hiddleston.
rules.
Bring back X-Files and let's just
It took
run
me,
that.
you know what? She had
Run it
her
back.
work
I'm
cut out.
into it. I'm into it.
She had her work cut out for her because I think like everybody after the first episode, maybe even going into like the third episode, was like not sold on her. But she had to work hard to like get us all to come around, and I'm a fan.
Harder than Agatha for sure,
Oh,
Yes.
well, Catherine
I
Hahn.
mean-
because Catherine Hahn
went
brings
on-
weight. Right,
Yeah.
she's
Do
arguably
anything.
the most accomplished person on that show.
We
Well,
have
yeah,
Right.
somebody
I'd be
that
like
most,
Catherine Hahn was cast as Bruce Wayne, and I'd be like, all right,
yeah. Let's
I'm
see
fine
how
with
she,
it.
let's see what she does.
Sold. Let's see how she does. Yes.
She-
absolutely.
I'm down.
give her a chance.
But like we have an actress that I think the vast majority of us are not familiar with, and it's like this is going to be the female Tom Hiddleston. We're like, oh, those are some big shoes there,
Right.
Mhm.
and
I
she
can
didn't
see-
try to be. She is her own character, and she does a great job of it.
I can see her like I know I don't know if y'all talk about the potential death of Tom Hiddleston's Loki anytime soon on But I
She said don't.
She's
I
already
can
dead,
see her-
so this is
well,
a-
I can
this is
see
a-
her
Right.
being our Loki going forward if they try to go that way.
Yeah, I
And-
brought that up last week. Yeah.
Yeah, they try to like they really made
Give
her
him a
the
damn happy
Colin.
ending.
I
Just let
can't
him have
watch
it.
him die again, you guys.
I could see
I'm
him
not
going out
strong
For the
as a
enough.
sixth
hero.
time, we can't have Loki die a sixth time. We're not.
I know what
Five's
I have
enough.
to do, but
I could see him going out as a hero though, like he did in Endgame, because he tried to save the day in Endgame in his own way.
Right.
But so if they give him
Infinity
another
War, Mr. IG, Infinity
You're right.
War.
if they give him another
Same thing.
honorable, death, like
I'm,
there's
I'm good. I'm good on the honorable Loki deaths. How about an honorary happy ending?
Yeah.
Yes, like that is what I want to see. I want to see him be like, okay, guess what, mother F?
We said it. Now you're talking about it.
Yes,
Tweet
Yep.
it out. Hashtag Matt Reeves Batman sequel.
like what if he's
Catherine Hahn will
in?
work out for the.
What if they're both in Doctor Strange, and we just don't know because
It
like
could be.
we don't know anything about that movie
How
besides.
about
like,
he just takes alligator Loki and they retire in Florida together.
And they do Turner and Hooch, but with Loki's.
Oh
Yeah.
my! Oh my!
Exactly.
Goodness. There's
Loki
so
and
many.
Loki.
Loki,
and Loki.
retirement. It'll be another spin-off series. Disney Plus is just going to be Loki spin-offs, and I'm
We're
fine
so
with it.
spoiled with Disney Plus. Like,
Mhm.
if we, I don't know if at any point in time we would have guessed that Marvel TV would have been taken over the pop culture zeitgeist compared to the Marvel movies.
what's that
Sure.
schmuck's name that used to run the TV for ABC?
Oh, Ike Perlmutter.
Ike. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it now. Fuck that guy. That
I
guy is
heard-
an idiot.
That's Colin's one, and he used it wisely.
That dude is so dumb. He's sitting back. He's like, man, I really tried to make a Ghost Rider TV show, didn't I? And we
guys-
were all sitting like, yeah, bro, you did, man.
of
It's
all
a-
things.
oh,
This
geez.
is,
And I
this
love
is
Ghost
going.
Rider.
This is going off topic, but if we're going to talk some shit about Ike Perlmutter, I feel
Do
like
it.
I need to bring it up. Do you guys watch Mr. Sunday movies?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I was enlightened. They were talking about Iron Man 2, and they brought up a quote that was written in an article dug up about Ike Perlmutter in regards to the recasting of Don Cheadle over Terrence Howard.
Oh.
And Ike said, "It'll be fine because black people look the same."
Sheesh.
Wow.
So Kevin Feige said, "I don't. This is not my man. This is
I
not
don't-
my
I don't
man.
look-
Get him
Yo,
right out."
if all black people look the same, I look just like Idris Elba, and I take that as a compliment.
There you go. There you go. Look at the bright side.
I mean,
Look at the bright.
Brandon,
Get
you
the
know,
silver lining on
you-
things.
Perlmutter may not be the worst person ever. Now that I think about it,
I'm
but
Sebastian Stan.
Also, shout out to the rocks on box wine.
Yeah, that was,
Yes,
that was
big
great.
I
love.
forgot what it was called.
Hey,
Rocks
if
and
Rocks on
Marvel,
references
if
in the
Marvel,
show.
if you do pop-up events for this, or you do something for the finale, and there is not rocks on box wine,
I want
You-
Kablooey.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
sure.
You know how
I
Szechuan
still don't
sauce,
think she gave that girl the kablooey. I think Kang gave that to her.
You know how Szechuan sauce came back because of Rick and Morty?
Mhm.
Let's bring
They
back
also-
those
yeah.
old sodas that like
Mhm.
Mobius was drinking and stuff.
Oh, the kid
and
was
Kid
drinking
Loki
a
with
box high C.
a high
Yeah.
C.
I,
Yep.
I loved that.
I love that Colin popped for the heist.
all this stuff that doesn't exist anymore or never has existed. It's just from
This
They're
is
just
but
making
it's
shit
so
up.
weird. It's the second time I saw that because if you follow Daddy Fernandez, she literally just posted a picture 2 days ago that like High C like sent her like a care package, and she had
Oh.
like a High C hat. So I saw that in the episode. I was like, High C, am I gonna come back?
How is he making a comeback?
Buy
Coming
that
out of the
stock.
shadows.
Don't call it a comeback.
But this damn show, right? I really enjoyed this episode overall. Like, is it my favorite of the bunch? No, it's not.
Ooh, I
but
think it was.
I mean, by all means, all power to you. But I don't think the show's missed. That's my thing.
Yeah,
I
right.
think the show hasn't missed at all.
I
Like,
think the only issue I had with the episode was the ending.
a little rush. Little
Well,
convenient.
it was the
convenient, the C
what
word.
I talked to you about earlier, the cheesiness of her being like, "You're gonna enchant it with me," and he's like,
Right.
"I don't know how," and she goes, "Yes, you do, because we're the same." And I was like, "Boo! That doesn't tell him anything."
Like they've intentionally, it seems like, showed us that they have a different power set, and they even bring
Right.
that up earlier. Their different Lokis have different abilities, but she's like, "You're a Loki, so you can do whatever I can do." I'm like, "You literally said the opposite like 3 episodes
Do you have
ago."
a tutorial or like any kind of tips? No.
Nitpicking, that's what you have to do with the show, and I
Just
think
feel it.
Now that you bring it up, though, I agree with you. If they could have solved that if there was a little more dialogue.
Yeah.
Like while they're holding hands, she's like, look inside yourself, feel it,
Right.
do this.
That would have
like,
been total Disney, bro.
Give
Like, I
him some
can't rock with that.
directions, and then it would have worked better, I think. But I agree with you on that.
That would have been like Ultimo Disney. Like, you gotta feel it in your
Six-pack.
body. Do it, Loki. Do
I'll get a
it,
6-pack of
Loki!
high C. You
Just
can-
drink one for every episode.
Yep. So
You
I mean,
are
it's
gonna-
gonna be weird to see how they like wrap that. Well, not wrap it, but I think Loki really looked over at who I'm calling OG, so Logi. For me.
Yeah, just
OG
classic.
Loki. So
Richard
Classic
Loki
Loki.
Grant.
yes, L to the OG over here.
Perfect. Just call him
And
Classic Grant.
yes, seeing him rise up Asgard from
That
the
was
ground
wild.
That
Yes.
was awesome.
awesome.
It
But
was
I
the laugh
think
for me.
was to answer y'all's like questions on how he was able to do it. I think the show tried to justify it with the line of dialogue with him looking over at Richard E. Grant and saying like, it looks like we're more powerful than we
Okay.
believe we are. And I
Right.
think that was the show's way of then her also holding his hand and then believing. Also had a bit of that shit took a little too long, like in Force Awakens when Rey and Kylo are fighting, and
Okay.
she's like, "The Force," and it's like
It just sound like Owen Wilson.
28 seconds of like her just like staring and trying to figure it all out. If they could have trimmed it down a little bit more, if
They could have
weren't gonna
saved
talk.
Richard E. Grant. They could have.
I have
Well, it was just a little, I don't know, YA novel for me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I have very, very few nitpicks about the show, but the fact that Mobius came and saved Sylvie in a pizza car, I was like, how about have her run next to the coast and he comes barreling
On
through
his
on a
jet
jet ski and
ski.
be like, get on if you want to live.
Missed opportunity.
He's
and
like
also-
Terminator, but on a jet
I
ski.
don't want to say that budget would be an issue
Mobius,
for a
Mobius
Marvel
sunglasses.
show. but-
Why? Come
Oh.
on, we gotta get on the jet ski.
oh,
Where
I'm
did they film
devastated that there were no Mobius variants.
I know.
Where was
Yet.
Lightning McQueen?
We need to find
Yeah.
more out about Mobius. They
And
left
they-
us in an
Crashing
interesting
a
spot.
wedding.
They made a point to point it out in the like previously on to highlight the conversation between Renslayer and Mobius when she's like, "You're my favorite of the analysts." They highlighted that line, so I thought we were going to get a variant, and and then they of course showed him getting pruned and whatnot, and I thought we were going to see more than one of him, like down there.
Or just
Or-
like a toy one somewhere.
Yeah.
One Lightning McQueen. Is that
That's
too
Disney,
much
isn't
to
it?
ask?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
on.
Just one ka-chow. That's all we need is a ka-chow.
Have you thoroughly gone through all the wreckage on in that world?
That's true.
Maybe
That's
there
Colin,
is
bro,
one.
get on that, bro.
Maybe
Where's
there's
the
one-
Lightning McQueen?
You
No,
One
there was an
Lightning
Oswald. There was an Oswald the Rabbit reference. If anybody cares, it was.
Right.
on
I thought
the
you were going to say
marquee on the
Oswald the
ground.
octopus.
I thought you were gonna say
I
Oswald
like
Cobblepot.
No, unfortunately, that would have cost way too much money and caused way too big of a stir. What else was there?
Owen Wilson is Oswald Cobblepot.
The Dark Esther. The Dark
I'm not
Esther
opposed
was
to
in
that.
the ground.
I think it's Aster, not
Aster,
a 90-year-old
sure.
woman.
Aster.
Well, there's probably one of those two.
We're getting down to semantics.
I could spell it if you want.
To go back to the thing I mentioned at the top with the TVA, because now at least Renslayer gave us the vibes that she's like, even I don't know what's at the top. Like she's
Yeah,
just,
she
we were
pulled
we were
it.
calling out the bullshit from line
Oh, yeah.
1 of this episode. We're like, no.
That
And I
whole
don't
thing,
even know if she honestly doesn't know what's going on. Like her surprise doesn't even seem legitimate. She's like, I really need to figure out what's going on. I'm like,
I don't know.
All right.
I have no idea what the hell's going on. I know this guy is
To
definitely
bring
gonna
this on
play-
back, I can actually loop this around to 1, a Kang reference, and 2, keep this on subject. 1, her name's Ravonna Renslayer. Is that her name?
Ravenna,
Sounds right.
Ravana.
Ravonna.
Ravenna,
Okay.
yeah.
So in the comics, Ravonna is the love interest of Kang
Mhm.
in the
Yes.
comics. So
Yes.
my theory,
As seen in Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
yes, by working and also taking the name of Terminatrix,
Terminatrix, yep.
Terminatrix. She basically just looks like She flies around in a Loki-colored Iron Man / Wasp suit. Looks really weird. But my working theory is that the Ravana that we are seeing is a variant that Kang has left there to run it, and she is a variant that got a bit out of hand. Like, she might have tried to foil Kang's plans at one point, and then he's, like, left her there under the supervision of, wait for it, Miss Minutes, who's an artificial intelligence, who is running the TVA for Kang, and is gonna pop up out of that little thing like, hey y'all, how's it going? Love Tara Strong. She's
That was a
literally
good
goated.
Miss Minutes too.
And
do you think we're gonna see a live action
Tara
Miss
Strong?
Minute
Miss
I
Minutes?
would shit a
clock
chicken.
looking thing?
Like, that would be amazing. She
Like a
pops full.
Randy's got a good point.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes in line with
Save
that.
the chickens.
The craziest theory I think I've heard so far about Kang is I heard somebody go, it's Casey. Because if you say his name fast enough, it's KC. Kang the Conqueror. And I was like, all right, go take a nap.
Okay.
Go
So,
take a nap.
shit.
It's like pump the brakes, Colin. I love that.
He's
though.
just running the front desk this whole time, seeing all the incoming,
Only Casey
all the
can
influx.
make
Yes,
the stones inert.
yeah. That's
He's
why they're all.
actually just
That's
as
why they're all in
badass
his
as the,
drawer because
Yes.
he has collected them.
He's actually in charge.
Yo, you know, like in like the little courtroom thing, like on the wall, he's just like looking at everything, pan out, like what the hell is going on here? It's like all these nerds. I like that theory though, that Renslayer's a variant.
And then it kind of gives me like Memento vibes, because then she's gonna go in and uncover stuff, and it could be a version of her, like because she's a variant too.
Well, they all are variants.
Correct.
Right?
So like
And
he could
she
just
used to be
dropping
Exactly.
biddies
That's
in.
the point.
That's true.
That's the point I was going to make.
She used
He
to
could just be
an
dropping
agent. We
in
saw that
variant
when he brought
biddies
Sylvie in
from
for the
all
first time.
different corners of the multiverse.
We need to find out what happened between her being an agent, like Sean is saying, and then becoming a judge. Because I think she was very just mind washed like the rest of them as a time cop, for lack of a better term. And then when she became a judge, it seems like there's more going on.
Yeah, because there was another judge there. So what is the connection to like how was that like what was that guy
was the
was
passing of the
puppet
torch?
When
instead?
Sylvie asked what her event was, she said she didn't remember, right?
But then she smiled like the
Garbage.
little bitch that she is.
That's
Lie.
Right.
That's true.
Liar.
He
Yeah,
said,
that whole
I
thing was a
don't
lie.
remember. And I'm like, I
Liar.
hate you so much.
Mhm.
And
Yo,
My
I need
favorite
to
theory.
critique Sylvie for a second.
My favorite theory.
no, not here.
Before you go there, is that behind Lyeth is another Loki variant, which I heard from a couple different sources,
If it's King Loki, I'll be so pissed.
Casey's
and
Mephisto.
that might be interesting.
But
Um,
like, what else? But like, so. But if it is, we have nothing to like. I don't know what else in this show has like led us to believe that that's the case. Besides the fact that everywhere we go, we just see other Lokis.
Just because he'd be like, "Hey, you guys finally made it. I had this plan, X amount of millennia ago, and I've been running the show the whole time. You guys planned to destroy the TVA. I had already taken it over, and I've been running the show for however long."
I hope it's not, because WandaVision was witch versus witch, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of Cap versus
It's
Cap.
soldier versus soldier.
Right.
It would
So,
be
yeah,
nice
I hear you.
if this wasn't Loki versus Loki. You know what I mean?
And I feel like Loki's not really going to be able to,
Yeah,
because
I
it's not a
agree with
winning fight. If Kang is the villain of this series and not just something they lead into at the end, Kang's going to kick Loki's ass when he like walks into the door, and then Loki's going to run back to like the TVA, maybe
Depends
become
on
new leader
what-
of the TVA.
It does depend on when in time we are accessing, if it is Chronopolis, because we've seen Chronopolis one other time before, and that was when
Ant-Man.
Scott Lang, has fallen through Ant-Man, and we see this
That's
city
true. That's
in
true.
the
That's a good
void,
point.
but it looks really futuristic.
Mhm.
It looks super high tech, and this looks more like some magical Middle Earth looking shit, and that's just like kind of different, and I'm kind of worried that it might not be Chronopolis, but I also don't know what else it is, because it's literally a castle at the end of time, which is literally Chronopolis. So
I'm scared
Literally.
that
it's literally what it is.
I'm scared that it will be demigod versus demigod because I mean, we've all heard theories, and I guarantee we all bought into some of them over the course of the last 5 episodes. But there's a point where I heard a theory of everyone at the TVA is a Loki variant. Bum, bum, bum. Obviously, that's not the case, at least as far as we know. But I really wouldn't like it if it was like there was like King Loki at the end, like, ha, it's me. And at the same time,
cheap, I think.
it would feel like it wouldn't pay off. As
we
well
still haven't
as it
seen
being
one
King.
of the scenes from one of the trailers. There
Which
is
one?
a scene of Loki in Asgard, like actually, like or in a throne-like setting that we haven't seen yet. So,
Which brings up a point that we
just
skipped
be like a
over
time.
earlier. President Loki, real quick,
vote
because
for Loki.
I think we were all surprised by that. Yeah.
Yeah, that he was not.
Yeah, that it wasn't
our
our
Loki.
Yeah,
Loki.
yeah. I was waiting for that, and it was a whole different dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of
Well,
that
it
was
makes
one of the moments in the show that I didn't really care for. And
Oh,
I
really?
just kind of
Okay.
yeah.
I thought it was funny.
I was
Them all
okay
turning
with
on
it.
each other.
I
Yeah.
was okay
See,
with
I
it.
was more or less with you. I was more or less just okay with it. Where I was like, okay, cool. Oh darn, a Loki got double crossed. Guess what Loki's get?
Well, I think
double crossed.
it was a snowballing like joke where it's like
Right.
this Loki double crossed this Loki, and this Loki's like, "Ha, I'm gonna double cross you," and then all the Lokis double crossed him.
Well, then Hiddleston just like
Yeah, he's just like
crawling
maneuvering.
through
him
But
all
it.
like
through.
we're all I don't think all of those people were Lokis.
But at least some of them had to be, because some of them had like their hairs were done up in horns, unless
Yeah.
they were all like fanboys.
Oh,
or
but I
something.
think they were just like Vikings. I think that was
a
like
bunch of Loki.
I kind of took them
Well,
as
some
just
of them
like
were using
marauders.
magic. You know,
Hang on, I got.
Oh, that's true. That's
look
true.
look at this.
that's hot.
Look at all the different horn variants.
Yeah.
On here.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all Lokis, but they're all.
The guy in the
something.
hood
They
in
got
the
green.
top left corner is giving me strong Green Arrow vibes. And it is
Shout out to the X-wing that became a Loki, the X-wing pilot that became a Loki right there.
Oh yeah, the one on the left.
The one on the left, yeah, that's raw.
Yeah, and he
That's
took
really
his antenna off the top and he made it his
He bent
Just one
it.
more
he
Yeah,
bent it.
Yes.
and Thanos copter, big pop from Thanos copter. That was awesome.
So
But I
good.
actually really like
didn't
that.
see that
Tucker
during
is
I wanna
also a Loki variant.
I want to see that Thanos. Because like, and then Richard E. Grant talks about like he survived because Thanos basically killed the mirage he made of Loki, and then he hid out. I was like, okay, so if you're dressed like that, I want to see your Thor. I want to see your Thanos. I want the
Right.
Richard E. Grant spinoff.
I want to see the Odin too.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Because you know
Right?
that's like OG Marvel, and they're all like it's all campy and bright and colorful, you know. Like, but that whole scene with all the Lokis, I really enjoyed it because it was a nice step back from all the serious plot, while also
someone-
like adding some layers to why Loki is so different from all the other ones that we've gotten, and him learning from his other Lokis.
Someone brought it up last week, or I don't know, some show I was watching. What if we saw Matt Damon there as a variant Loki?
Oh, I would love that.
would've
TVA got his ass
cameo. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm so
They-
disappointed.
They pruned this random actor on accident because they thought he was a variant.
or Loki's walking up and he sees like the back of his brother, and he's like, "Brother," and he turns around and it's Luke Hemsworth.
Yes. Yes.
There's something
That would've been
in
fantastic.
way.
That'd be
And then Luke just turns around. I don't even know who you are.
You will.
This episode did a lot of like this whole series has been character work and soul searching for this Loki. I love that Tom Hiddleston has played this character for like a third version of what we've seen so far. We got
It's been
the
10
main,
years. He's played him a
main
decade.
timeline Loki, like villain Loki, the one that got redeemed. This one, the one that got the Tesseract in Endgame, and then this guy, the one who was the Tesseract Loki, but also at the same time, he's like, "Yo, there's a bigger plot than just me. There's a bigger timeline than just me. There's a bunch of other people that look like me, act like me, talk like me, but they're all pieces of shit and they're all garbage."
And for the first time, he's given someone to care about. And then, like Mobius said, you could be good if you wanted to, just in case nobody told you that. He's getting so much different experience than he ever did being belittled by Thor, by Odin, and like not being able to have any source of value from any of his family or people that he like cared for. And it's just in this short period of time, he's allowed so much growth because people are like, don't label yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And he
like
says
we
as
talked
much when he's talking to Sylvie.
Yeah, we talked
Right.
about earlier. He had a come to Jesus moment, real
Come
quick.
to Odin moment.
You beat me by 1 second.
Watching his whole life unfold, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
That was
And
probably
can-
my favorite scene of the whole series too. Him
Yeah.
watching his life pan out and him betraying his mother and having her killed without him even knowing about it.
Right.
Like it's so powerful to me. And that was the second episode, first episode?
First
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one.
And can we jump back to Mobius's words of wisdom? Because like what you said, you can be good or bad. You get to choose. But then in this episode, and which is the reason why Richard Loki Grant goes and Logi, is that what we're doing? Goes and builds the Asgard as a distraction. He basically says, "Hey, it's not too late to change," and he says that to him and the kid Loki as well, and the alligator Loki was there, I suppose.
He knew he was going to die when he did that.
Yeah,
Seemingly,
you can
we
see.
lose boastful Loki in that big fight. We lose Richard E.
Right.
Grant. And so we're talking about being disappointed at maybe this show doesn't end with Kid Loki, but he's still around.
Mhm.
So I think he's still. I'm just saying the Young Avengers is going to be
Gator
wild.
Loki's last one.
Alligator Loki, baby. We're getting the
Alligator
pet
Loki.
Avengers. Let's get it.
Why not? DC's going with Crypto, having
Right?
Dwayne Johnson
Yes.
and Kevin Hart. Why can't we get the
The most
Marvel
anticipated superhero movie of 2022. Yes, Jesse, I'm so glad you mentioned it.
equivalent? Yes.
It's like the Batman and the League of Super Pets,
Yeah.
just right there,
I'm anticipating so much I didn't bother watching the trailer. There was a trailer, right?
It was just them announcing the cast.
It was
I
an
watched the
announcement.
Clifford the Big Red Dog trailer.
Oh,
Wasn't it
I saw
horrifying?
that terrifying
terrifying.
picture. I didn't watch the trailer.
I can't wait to see it.
I was going to
Scary.
make my kids do a trailer review.
Yes, that would be.
That'd be pretty funny.
Oh,
Yo.
whatever.
Be like, that's not what dogs look like, Dad.
I want to see Clifford Loki.
I was hoping we were going to see Hulky. I'll
Yeah,
call him
Hulky.
that.
Hulky?
because they
That's
showed
so
him in
cute,
the
John.
first
It's Hulky,
second
Yeah.
it's
episode.
Hulky with an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Can we talk about those weird little
was that what
creatures
that
were,
was? I just kind of thought it was a
bouncing
demon.
ball?
Yeah, what were
I don't
they?
know.
The look like peacock looking things.
Yeah,
I thought it was a peacock for
with
a
the
while.
detached head.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like some
I'm just
some
gonna
Guardians
say
of the
they were-
Galaxy.
Some of Loki's children.
Probably everything
They
is.
fall into that category.
But Jesse, you're gonna say something about Sylvie. You're gonna talk shit about my favorite character in this whole show.
Okay, just breathe, Chris. I want you to breathe with me. Okay,
What are
so
you gonna say?
the last episode ended with Rowena pruning Loki. 60 seconds or less later, Sylvie's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll work with you." I'm like, "Are you?"
Mhm.
She's like, "I'm going to help you find Loki." I'm like, "She put him there," and there's nothing happened between the timekeeper getting decapitated and then Ravenna all of a sudden switching to be like, "Oh, I'll help you."
Desperation.
Yes, something did happen, dude. Loki died. He got zapped right in front of her. The
Right,
one person
but
she cared about in her whole life. Since
I'm
she
saying
got
nothing
taken by
happened
the TVA.
for Ravenna between it's not like she took Loki out and then the timekeeper was decapitated, making her side with Sylvie. I'm saying for Ravenna, nothing's changed, so I don't understand why Sylvie would believe that she
Yeah,
switched
I
sides.
think it was just desperation. She
Mhm.
she wants Loki back.
She's
she
a
had
shit
nobody
liar.
else to turn to.
Ravenna is a shit liar, and she
Oh,
has
yeah.
been since the
Oh,
first
yeah.
episode.
Mhm.
That we could all tell. I would like to think that they were both trying to play each other.
Yeah, that
So
too.
Sylvie was trying to get more information and just going along
I
with
have
it.
to believe that.
Yeah, and that she's smarter than she put on. We couldn't tell that Ravenna was a bad liar. We couldn't tell so much that Sylvie was going along with whatever that plan was
I feel like Kang's
until
saying-
the very end.
I feel like Kang's gonna say the exact lines of Thanos. He's like, "I never taught you how to lie. That's why you're so bad at it."
Hey, you guys want to see what happens when you look up Loki Peacock on the internet?
Oh wait,
Oh, boy.
no.
I just shared it. It's fine. It's fine.
It doesn't look so bad. It doesn't
No,
look
this
so
is
bad.
fine.
Is
It
it-
says, "I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose."
like burdened. Burdened. That's incredible.
Yeah, someone send that to me.
That
I'll make that my profile picture.
Is spell it like
the
a
most
bird?
beautiful Loki I've ever seen.
Tom's right here.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How
I
dare
didn't
you?
mean it. I
Alligator
didn't-
Loki exists.
That's right.
I can't argue with you there.
Any other? I can't believe that like with 4 people we're still.
Thank
keeping
you,
this,
Soul.
like, under an
I
hour.
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Yo, this
Is there? Well, there's a couple of Easter eggs we still didn't talk about. Yellow Jacket head, right? The Yellow
Yeah, so
Jacket
that's like
helmet?
in an alternate timeline where he went big accidentally and he got it right.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
So like
Oh.
he that's in a world where Darren Cross actually figures out a way to like make the formula
and
work.
they just pruned his head.
Yeah, or that's Yellow
This
Jacket
is-
from
this
the
is all taking place in the quantum verse.
Right.
Sure.
Which ties in
And
Kang again.
yes, back to Ant-Man, who he's going to be the villain for. And he came small, and they are all very small because they're in the quantum verse. So
Or just things get,
I like that
you
theory.
know, there's
all
variables
together.
of things in the quantum.
Hey, we're losing Chris.
He's
like
he's
the-
a
Isn't it
massive
crazy
migraine
how
right now.
how we're tying in like Loki, which is talking about shit out of time, to Doctor Strange, which is also tackling the multiverse, which we're tying into Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is about literally shrinking so damn small that you're entering different universes
and
so-
timelines.
and this all makes sense somehow.
I love that, like, so we have like 4 or 5 Marvel properties that we're tying so closely together, but then you have Eternals, Shang-Chi, Black Widow,
Spider-Man!
Shang-Chi.
Well,
You put
Spider-
the emphasis
thank
on
you.
the syllable.
Thank you. Thank you, Colin, with 2 L's. Yeah, it's Shang-Chi.
Oh damn!
But yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
my man,
half
hot.
the stuff is very close, and then the other stuff is like refreshing. Not to say this isn't refreshing, but it's just other stuff that's kind of like not Elseworld, but you know what I'm trying to say.
This reminds
Mhm.
me of like when Marvel or DC does like a refresh, like
Yeah.
New 52 or
Oh,
Marvel
word.
Now or whatever you want.
I appreciate your New 52 Marvel Now references.
You're welcome. And
New
to
52 is the better one. Fight
of
me.
course, it just
Oh,
had
yeah,
to,
significantly.
I just had to mention a Marvel one to keep it 50-50.
Right.
And to me, they're doing this so well and doing it in a way that's bringing in new fans, that's actually achieving like. Now, one thing I will say is that they're losing people like my dad. My dad's
Right.
watching this show and he's like, "This is effing boring. These
Yeah.
people are just running around and like talking and not really doing anything, and I want to see some crazy stuff." And then I had to remind him, like, well, dude, Falcon and Winter Soldier had like one really cool scene in the first 15 minutes of the first episode, and then the next like 70 minutes of that show are like hard talking conversations. And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." So you know, there is a bit of change with it being able to have almost 6 hours of content for this. Like, that still blows my mind. We get that.
I get what you're saying, because like I'm trying to fix this, but my mom's was also saying, she's like, so this is like the worst, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
You
But, like, we're sitting
obviously
here
didn't
loving
tell me
it, and-
this on purpose.
But it's got so much for stuff like us. But at the same time, we're going to find out in February when Doctor Strange comes out how much you needed to pay attention to WandaVision.
Mhm.
That's
think-
the first test.
What's the point where we stop trying? Because I feel like we're always trying to bring people along and like explain Vision and be
If
like,
you're not on
well,
by
this
now,
means
you're not
this.
on.
Yeah,
And I-
if,
yeah,
you're, not,
I
if you're
like-
not in it by now, I'm sorry.
I think it's too hard with all the shows. If they
I think Phase 4 is going to be when I'm like, you're in or you're out.
I have friends who all use my Disney Plus account that are like, I have a real job, but like when I say my friends have real, like I work in live sports. I don't say I have a real job. It's too much fun. And my friends go to work every day, and those guys have a hard time when I like drop like a trailer for the show or something. I have to do a lot of explaining to them who watch the movies, who keep up with stuff. Like they don't keep up with it. They don't like watch out for news or anything like that. Occasionally one of them will drop in like, "Oh, I saw the new Star Wars trailer" or something. But like
How many
those
people have you
guys
talked
aren't
to?
I'll
They're not
always
actively
explain for
pursuing
my
this.
mom, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, some people, there's a difference between, there's some people that like don't care to know, and some people are like, oh yeah, explain it to me, and that's
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But sometimes somebody will watch a trailer like, this is stupid, and like, here's why it's not stupid, and you try to like convince them, and I'm done convincing people. I think pretty soon here.
Same.
I don't mind explaining to those that are interested. They just don't have the same background. But I was going to bring on your point, Colin, when you talk about your friends. How many people did you talk to that didn't know when the Mandalorian took place in Star Wars?
Every single one of them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with shows like this, and when in pre-production, when you're just making a show like this, you run the risk of losing folks off the bat because they have to be aware of the previous material. What year is it? 2021. There's 13 years of Marvel content they have to ingest to be caught up in this, and all the way from the original Iron Man movie. And I was asked yesterday, what Marvel movie is inconsequential, where you can take it out of the picture, and I don't have to watch it? And I couldn't think of one. I'm like, but there's that one little thing. Wait, but there's that one little thing.
I'm not going to say what you think you're going to say. I was going to say Hulk.
Like, I'll say Iron Man 3.
No,
Iron Man 3.
Wait, no, let's not have this conversation. Not here.
No, Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is the answer.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie like Jesse doesn't like the movie. I enjoy the movie, but the events don't matter. I think,
every single personal achievement that Tony Stark makes in that movie is completely undone by creating fucking Ultron. Every single thing he does in that movie to advance himself as a human being, to find answers to what
all
he
his suits. And then immediately, without explanation, the very next movie he's in, he has all his suits back.
Oh, and then let's write it in that we couldn't afford Gwyneth Paltrow anymore.
Pepper gets the extremist, and then they immediately remove it in the end credits of the movie.
I'm going to say one sentence because I don't want to hurt my buddy Chris any more than I have to. The only thing of consequence that happens in that movie, which pisses me right off, is that they remove the arc reactor. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. The Russos had to fix it and give him a nano nest for his bots to make a suit so that it looks like the arc reactor.
Right.
But Chris, I love you, buddy. I don't want to besmirch something.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
And the kid. The kid was at the funeral.
And the kid was in
Ty Simpkins can do a front flip.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Am I the only one who knew who he was at the funeral?
Yes.
Oh, I knew who.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I cried when I saw him.
Well,
I shed
I'll
extra
say-
tears.
I knew who he was because I had heard he was going to be in the movie, and I thought he was going to have a bigger part in the movie. I didn't know he was just going to show up at the end for the. Obviously, none of us knew what was going to happen.
So what a glow up!
I was at a crew screening, and everybody I was watching it with, I was like, "Oh, hey!" And they're like, "Who is that?" And I was like, Harley. And they're like, who's Harley? I'm like, I'm watching this with the wrong people.
But like, there's so much Marvel content that when you make a show like this, like and especially how the show opens, it opens with that scene from Endgame. If you haven't seen Endgame, you're going to be confused.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so there's, how have you not seen Endgame? But still.
They just keep dropping these $1 billion blockbusters, and they're like, we'll worry about it when we have to worry about it. Because they really do like.
And by that, you mean never.
But that's why shows like this exist, so people can be like, "Oh yeah, that thing did happen. Oh yeah, Iron Man 3 was a pretty good movie. Yeah, like just stuff like that. You know what I mean?"
I think there was a phase in 2014 after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, where
Soul.
So to talk about what Soul is saying, though, they're going back and making Thor 2 very important. That's what this show is doing. That's what Endgame did.
Exactly. Endgame made it a point to go back to 2014.
That's exactly what WandaVision did for Age of Ultron, which a lot of people had problems with.
I'm waiting for the show that makes Iron Man 3 important.
Okay.
Ironheart, baby.
Ironheart,
Armor Wars, baby.
Armor Wars. That's what it's called. Yes, Armor Wars.
Shang-Chi with the Mandarin. Let's go, baby. Yes. Iron Man 3.
You are going to get what you want because all of those properties are going to go back and make Iron Man 3. They're going to tie it in somehow. They do. That's what they've been doing for these last year.
They brought back Abomination to make Incredible Hulk revel it again.
That's fair.
That's true.
I really hope that Ben Kingsley appears in Shang-Chi.
Should leave me alone.
What are you, Chris?
I do.
Tell the world what you are.
Shug says I'm a no-draw mother effer.
Well,
and rude. That I'm also
you're a show ho.
I'm a show ho.
Yeah,
I'm Chris Anthony Shoho Lopez. Yeah,
that's right.
Show Holo. Yeah, that's me.
Lopez.
I'm Hope. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of things that sound Egyptian, did you guys see the Sphinx?
Yes.
I can't say
Sphinx. And Sphinx in the tower.
Sphinx.
Sphinx.
All right.
Sphinxter. No. Sphinx is a very different thing.
That's a reference to Kang once again because
Stop.
he spent time as was it Ramatut or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, in
Okay.
Egypt.
Thank
I
you.
love that. I'm so glad that you're a Kang, Mark, Colin. I've learned so much more about Kang in the last hour than I have in my whole life.
What if the TVA started as a cleanup crew for all the shit that Kang did in the
Created
sacred
by
timeline,
Kang.
created by him, but to clean up his mess.
Yes,
Damn
that's
it, it's
why he made this
chasing
minute.
after him through.
What
I
does
don't know
Miss
where I'm going
Minute
with
say to Loki? Miss Minute says, he's like, "Are you real?" Like, kind of, sorta.
Kind of, sort of.
Kinda,
yeah.
sort of.
I like that Ravenna was trying to get these files, and Miss Minutes was being hesitant, and she's like, "Well, whoever
She's
is
all-
behind the TVA, we're gonna have to protect because people are after him."
Gonna be a minute.
them.
I'm
And then she was
looking
like,
for
"All
these.
right,
I'm a computer, but I'm
She's
looking for
running
these files.
protocols.
Miss
Set by
Minutes
somebody
is
else.
Kang confirmed.
Yes.
Wait,
Miss Minutes
Mephisto.
is Mephisto.
Miss Minutes is the original Ravenna.
Miss Minutes
Oh,
is
Well,
Casey,
right, but that's the AI,
who is
right? So
Kang,
it all
who
comes
is
back to.
Mephisto. It's all
Yeah.
That
Is
ties in what.
But I don't think
Reed.
I don't think they would have cast Tara Strong if she was
Tara
Ravenna.
Strong, right? That's
You're right.
yeah.
It wouldn't.
Let's
it
see
wouldn't have
live
been
action
Tara.
Darren
Strong.
Carter
She can
is
do
the
it.
power
Tara
broker.
Strong
Is Ravenna?
Doesn't Tara
Is-
Strong play Harley Quinn?
Casey.
Yes.
She voiced Harley Quinn
She
in a bunch,
was
a bunch of
the
other stuff.
original Harley Quinn in the 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Multiverse. Confirmed.
What happened?
Couldn't
No, that
say.
was the person that
She's
did
the
Harley
Harley
Quinn in the
Quinn
90s is a different
variant.
person.
Oh,
Yeah, Tara
that's-
Strong was not the first Harley
She
Quinn,
was
but
the
she's the
second Harley
dominant. She's the dominant
Yeah,
Harley
yes.
Quinn.
Her name was like Harleen something.
Excuse me,
Her-
Tara
wasn't her name
Strong
Harleen?
is the
Quinzel.
voice of her in
Harleen
the video
Quinzel.
games.
Well, no,
And-
the
and
voice
a lot of
actress
the
from
cartoons.
Batman the Animated Series.
Right.
Like she was a whole different person, and
Right.
then Tara Strong took over.
Right. So
Yes.
the Tara Strong that I know is the one from the Arkham series.
Right.
And
She's-
Injustice.
Yeah.
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 We have
But
to
she's
give
not the
Kaylee
one on the
Cuoco
show.
some points because
Yeah,
the Harley Quinn
she's-
show is
she's
fantastic.
awesome.
Oh yes, that's who voiced her. Yeah.
Love that.
Just
What else is
specifically
there?
for that.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything?
Anyway, yeah. So did we? Oh wait,
I think
that
we
would
touched
be a lot.
everything.
Well, this would also be very appropriate because
Well,
there are Kang variants.
Well, that's the whole point of
Mhm.
Kang. That's
Also,
literally.
Arlene Sorkin voiced Harley
Thank
Quinn
you.
in
Thank
OG Batman anime series.
So the whole
Um,
point of Kang is that he spread himself across time to the point where, like
Like a disease.
The idea of a variant is literally Kang.
Guys,
Like Kang is
what if-
he's Horcrux.
Hear me out. What if God was one of us?
I can only
Thank you, Tushka.
I can only hear this in Dr. Evil voice. What if God was
Was
one of us?
that was a great comment. Comment of the evening.
Wait,
I completely
wait. What
lost that
train of thought was my nerdy, sweaty brain going down?
Kang spread across timelines.
Oh, was he? Was Colin talking
he's
about
the
Kang?
original. So he's the original variant. So the idea of being able to that not messing up the timeline, that would totally be something Nathaniel Richards would have figured out
Well, there we go.
midway through his 3,000 years of life.
There's the point I was going to bring up. How interesting is it that we are seemingly going to get Nathaniel Richards before Reed Richards, which lends even more interesting, juicy credibility to Fantastic Four.
Right.
Oh, it's confirmed now though.
Kang is
Juicy,
truly
juicy.
inevitable.
But then at the same time, you have to it's the only person who can stop Kang is Reed Richards. That he's the and Tony Stark's dead. Spoiler.
What does he do?
Like,
Just
wait,
cut
what?
out, get a vasectomy?
well, sure. If you want to, pull, that's like
the
what
easy
that's what
answer.
Don Cheadle said about Thanos. Couldn't we just go back in time and baby Thanos?
He's all-
Well, I just think of the first
It's a
season
baby,
of
man.
Flash when
Yes.
what's his name? Thawne.
Uh,
Eddie Thawne. Eddie Thawne gets shot or shoots
Eobard.
himself. And then Eddie is the descendant.
Oh, right.
He shoots himself to get rid of Eobard. So I'm just saying,
Correct.
get a vasectomy and there's no Kang. Boom.
But there's some sense that
It's too easy.
he's so
Hi, little
smart
Bo.
that the only people that could stop him would be Tony Stark or Reed Richards. I think in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it was Tony Stark.
or
I mean, because it had to be because
Right,
you know.
because it was his show, and
Right.
Fantastic Four wasn't on the show.
so I've heard it on other shows. I don't know if it was set in this show. Maybe Colin, since you haven't had time to talk at all, or the rest of you guys, have they explicitly said that all of the Infinity Stones that are back in Casey's drawer are null now, just because they were removed from their own timeline.
I think
Or
it's just
They-
in the
could they-
TVA.
in the TVA.
could
I
they-
think if you were to grab
yeah.
those, and
my
Right. So
understanding.
could they grab more than one time stone or more than one power stone and take it to whatever timeline they hop into and use it potentially?
That's
Or
Mobius.
that would
That's
create a
what
Nexus
Mobius
event.
does in episode 6. He has like a makeshift Infinity Gauntlet,
Casey
but
is
they're
going
all
to
time
come.
stones.
Casey's going to come in a
And
onesie
it
with
has
all these
Lightning
Infinity
McQueen on
Stones
it.
glued on him.
I am inevitable.
I think that would
Ciao.
start Nexus events though for like the series. I think
Yeah.
that would cause
That would obliterate
wherever
the
they
universe.
were to just
Because they talk
like,
about like removing one Infinity Stone. So if you go in a timeline and just like Salt Bay Infinity Stones in there, I think
yeah, just
The ancient one will lose her damn mind
I
back in
could see
2012.
Tilda Swinton just like
it looks like the scooting fire volcano that they make at a hibachi restaurant that the guy like scoots along. It's just like create all the flames and stuff like. Like, no, that doesn't work, guys.
I
That
was
doesn't
picturing
work.
Doctor Strange just doing the Homer Simpson into the bush.
Steven's just losing his goddamn mind. He's like, Tony, come get your children. They're stressing me out.
Which
It's
has
like, why
always
is-
been
That's
always
I've
been
the one
Lauren's
that did
synopsis.
the little thingy.
Yeah.
Jesse. Oh,
I don't even know what's happening in the comments. Infinity Stone onesie, yes. He's gonna save everyone from Kang. It's gonna be Casey and his Infinity Stone onesie.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And
It's gonna be the
not
Gallagher
just gonna be
guy
one
from
snap.
Avengers.
He's gonna be dancing like
And then the final scene will be Lightning McQueen.
yes.
Just one final ka-chow.
But Lightning McQueen as
Fade
a
to
jet
black.
ski. Just like a jet ski.
Yes, I was about to say
"Ka-chow,
that. You
ka-chow,
beat me to it.
ka-chow."
What if Owen's finally riding that jet ski and there's a lightning bolt on the side?
Oh.
Just like a jet ski with a lightning bolt.
It says 95 on the side.
brand, yes, the brand is
Yes.
Ka-chow or something.
If that
With
happens,
Rusty's on it.
if that happens, I'm calling you all up and we're doing like a 1 a.m. emergency stream just to be like, we were right.
I didn't have to work today. I thought about doing it last night. I was.
Oh, man.
So I have like one
live
final
watch along.
wrap up question. Are we okay with this like not ending well? And I mean like well for the people. Like, and I don't mean like people dying, but I just mean like open ended, because in my opinion the last two shows have kind of done that.
I mean, we kind
They've
of
been
have to be, right?
pretty bleak. There's not like a, so like that's where my idea of like if this is the K word,
Yeah.
like that's gonna be bleak. Like that's
I
not
think
gonna end well for anybody that steps up
realistically,
on that doorstep.
if they're setting up Kang, and my mic keeps turning itself down. If they're setting up Kang as the big bad going forward, potentially in the in the MCU in general, I mean he's going to be in the next Ant-Man movie, Quantumania. Who could Loki defeat him, or is this just setting up? Yes, exactly what you're saying, for Kang to come in, make his presence known, and bust the door down, and just leave everything in shambles until it finally
Leave the
wrapped
door
up.
open though to be really disappointed about how they get out of the situation, because
My
it's gonna
prediction
be
song,
some plot hole of like let's get them out with a time pad or temp pad, whatever the hell it's called.
A tampon.
Sure.
My
Nope.
prediction
That's where he's going with
is
it.
that the end of this season is, I think there's going to be a confrontation with Kang, but Loki is going to have to find a new like state of being. He's going to have to go somewhere, and that's going to put Loki in a different spot for the MCU. They already said we're getting Loki season 2. That's already
Did
happened.
they?
Yes.
Did they?
Who said that?
Keep on talking. I'll be right back.
So my
Show me the
quick.
receipts.
I will show
Yeah,
you the
show,
result.
let me see
So,
the tweet. My quick- Go
Quantumania
ahead.
is set for 2023.
Yes.
So it's 2021. I mean, we're halfway through the year. Potentially, if they were going to put out
Still?
another season, yeah, it's been a long year. If they were going to put out another season, then they would. I mean, they could. I mean, we have seasons every year of television. They film them. They put them out 3 weeks
Okay.
later. So
Let
they
me-
could potentially put out another a Loki season 2 before.
Here-
No, okay. I was close.
It's
All right,
not
so it
Tom's
was
show though. It would be Sylvie's show.
It would.
Marvel
I would like that.
producer says that Loki season 2 is likely, and they have not said that by any other show.
Yeah, this
So
is
not
a-
confirmed.
Yeah,
Likely.
I won't believe it till Kevin Feige tells me in front of a press conference or at a press conference.
Our Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige.
Agreed.
You already know.
production
But-
is
In Feige we
reportedly set
trust.
to begin in January 2022.
Wait for Quantumania or season?
No, for
Yeah,
for
Quantumania is already
season-
shooting.
Quantumania is on a roll right now.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Everything's shooting. Like,
Everything's
we're in phase
shooting.
5 already.
I
There's
love
so far
this.
back up.
Right.
They're
Love
shooting
that.
it all at
We're not
once
getting
before
any
we shut
spoilers
down
about
again.
anything.
They're gonna start moving stuff up at this point.
Well, because they've said even with the movies, they're going to start utilizing that Mandalorian technology, the craft technology or stagecraft.
The Void.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What
that.
they're using for
The
Mandalorian.
Void.
To answer your question, Colin, I'm fully prepared to see all my favorite characters die, and this all mean nothing. Because Kang's gonna be like, "Ha ha! Stomp on time! Ha ha!" Like I'm so ready for that. And
I'll
do I
tell you
want to
right
see it?
now, I can't emotionally handle that. I will break. I will
Because-
shatter.
To Colin's point, right? Like WandaVision had a sort of happy ending with like in a way.
Her kids died, bro. Like,
But she heard him. She heard him in the little boo 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 boo. Like she
It had
heard them.
it had a
But she's
wrap
also,
up,
she's
and
reading
then
the
a
Dark Hold. Is
tag
that a
to
happy
continue.
ending, or is
Depends
Wanda,
on who you're asking. If you ask Wanda, hell yeah, it is. If you ask us, hell no, it's not.
If you ask
but-
Stephen Strange, it's
Wanda is thriving.
And if for
She's got her
Captain
tea.
America and the Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
right? Sam got the shield. He's Captain America. Yeah, guys, do better. And then you know, whatever the hell. But Loki, I don't see it being all like, we're all good as the universe is falling apart behind them. You know?
I mean, I'm kind of expecting an Infinity War ending where it ends and we're all just like, well, shit.
we need one thing that bothered me in this show is that we had where Sylvie bombed the timeline basically, and there's all these like
Yes.
split timelines, and then they fixed it. And I was like, that seems like that was the good setup going forward. Are they
Yes.
gonna do
off
it again?
screen they
And they
fixed it.
fixed
Off
it
screen.
off screen. Exactly.
That, yeah.
That
So-
I didn't like.
Because I was like, oh, there it is. There's the multiverse of madness, and they're like, nope, it's back. It's fine.
I agree with that.
We're all good here. How are you?
Steven got on the phone. He was like, you better fix this shit right now.
Well, Kevin Feige, he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
It
yeah, and
reminds
I think it's going to
me-
be the first time they're going to like actually.
Every property that's come out recently, we've all been like, "Is it the multiverse? Is it the multiverse?"
It's
Like,
Mephisto.
was it? Is it Scary Movie or no? It's Hot Tub Time Machine, where it's like, "Is this where the guy loses his hand? Is this where the guy loses his hand? is this where it happens?" And then like,
It's
oh,
just like
wh-
Final
where,
Destination.
When is it going to
You're-
happen?
You're waiting for it the whole movie.
Yes, exactly.
Well, do you guys remember? There was the gap. IG nerds help me out. What movie came before Guardians and what movie came
Captain
after
America.
Guardians?
Age of Ultron.
Immediately,
So
yeah.
they
And then
took a little
Ant-Man was
break
right
there.
afterwards.
So I kind of feel like we're about to get our metaphorical piece of ginger with our different variations of sushi here. And we're about to take this to Shang-Chi and the Eternals, which are going to have diddly squat to do with the
Okay.
last scene of this show. And then Quantumania or Doctor Strange is going to come out.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
First, right?
Right, Spider-Man, and sure, right, and then all this stuff is gonna start coming out. That's gonna eventually, because if they mess it up, and this is really how they do it, I think Shang-Chi is gonna take place mainly, for the most part, in the pre-Infinity War and 5-year gap between the
Oh.
two.
That's a
films.
possibility.
You think we're
So-
getting 2 prequels back to back?
No. Well, I think it's gonna be like, because I've seen pictures of them as like, of him and Aquafina as like hotel like bellhops in San
they were-
Francisco.
They're
So that
ballets.
reminds me that it's gonna be like we are gonna travel some time here. It's just like,
They're
gonna be like the Doctor
it'd be a time jump
Strange.
in the movie.
Yes, exactly.
I see.
And then he could totally be in that fighting ring, which is totally Madripoor, 100%. And if it's not, shame on them. And
Right, yeah.
that's a huge thing for Shang-Chi's
What brings
always
Wong
there.
and Abomination together? Like my mind is just
It's a tournament.
But that's what happens
Yeah,
in
but, like-
Madripoor. There's the tournament in Madripour. That's a huge thing in the comics.
But
It's a
when is
tournament,
Wong gonna enter a tournament to square up against a physical
I
threat?
need money.
And the 5 those
He's got to
ten
get
rings,
his kid
dude.
melts, guys.
Or-
Stephen
really-
Strange is
he's
gone.
really
Like if this is
stressed
in the
out.
5 years, like Stephen, Wong doesn't
no.
have any income.
He doesn't work off income though. He can conjure income if he
I'm
wanted to.
But he
being
can't
facetious.
conjure a tuna melt. Come on, Sean.
I mean, because Wong
I-
has to wear the 10 rings, so he's probably going to fight for them if he has to. That's probably why he's in it.
That could be a yeah.
So
Maybe
And then
they
Eternals is going to be this millennial stretching story that's
Mhm.
going to span from the beginning
I
of
love me
Earth
some
to
millennials.
now. And then that's going to be True, Wong needs money for his sandwich. That's facts. He's a tuna melt.
I could see throughout the Eternals, because we know it's going to span time, that they see all of these world-changing, world-ending events happening and just sit back and do nothing against them. So all this stuff that we put so much stock in, like, oh no, how are the heroes going to fix this? They're just gonna be like, oh, it's another one.
They got it.
They're like our parents watching from afar. Oh, look, it's another movie. I don't care. Like they're just disinterested until they have to get involved in whatever.
And they know who everyone is.
Yes.
Like they know who everybody is. It's no secret to them.
Exactly.
They're us, but with they can make like Brian Tyree Henry's there making swords. It's gonna be awesome.
They have this omnipotent, viewpoint of the universe, and they're just watching it all unfold.
Yeah.
The MCU is their reality television.
Right. They're tuning in.
Jeez.
The real heroes.
Yes. The real.
It's
The
all
real
it's all
heroes of the sacred
Earth
timeline.
616.
it's all like Big Brother. They're watching the 24-hour feed and shit.
Yeah.
They can actually see Deadpool.
Yes. Like, when are they going to bring this asshole in?
Yeah. Like there's this piece of shit that looks like Ryan Reynolds.
For some reason, that Cable guy looks like Thanos.
He sounds just like him.
He sounds just like
Different motives, way
All
off.
Well, before we derail for the entire night, I think that's kind of a good wrap up point. We got some great theories out there. This is actually, I'm going to say it right now. Hopefully, I don't hurt anyone's feelings. This might be the most fun I've had on the review show. So
You're welcome.
thanks
I
for
blame
coming,
Colin
man.
and Chris.
It was fun.
I've been here for all of them, so I blame these guys over here.
Yeah, I said in the group chat earlier, like if you put Colin and I in front of a screen, and you just tell us like, "Yo, talk about air, oxygen."
Bro, I couldn't live without that shit. Like the way my relationship with air is so intimate.
Tell me why earlier, like I inhaled and yet like there was something that got caught, like and like.
Tell me why we really need air and water. Like let's talk about it.
H2O. That there's one oxygen in that.
Long
We
ago,
need that shit.
before-
I am actually they just started a new Avatar The Last Airbender podcast with the voice actors who did Korra and then Dante Briscoe
Send that
Roscoe.
link.
Yeah, I will. I'll put it in
Exactly.
the group chat. And they had the creators on for 2 episodes, and they just did like a whole like history lesson of how everything went down. And now I'm definitely about to get back on that. So you were like air, water, and I was like earth,
Dude, I just
fire,
bought the complete
and I'm
series
wearing
on
my
Blu-ray.
Earth Kingdom hat.
I just bought the
Hey.
complete series on Blu-ray. I just did it.
It's on Paramount Plus, bro.
No, but
It's
I wanted to own
literally
it.
in 4x3. Like
wanted to
I
own
think
it.
that's the biggest waste of
It's
money
on
I've ever
Netflix,
spent.
wasn't
Soul
it? Or
wants
did
it
they take
too.
it off?
No, it's still on Netflix. Yeah, it's still on Netflix.
So
It's everywhere.
speaking of podcasts, where can the people find you? Colin.
You can find me most Saturdays over on some dude named John Roca's YouTube channel, co-hosting the Ultimate Schmodown After Show. If you're nasty, you can watch some College of Charleston sports this year. Support the Cougars. That's my team. I direct their sporting events on the live streams. Check us out on Flow Sports. Kang
I
watch.
just realized, are you wearing an Earth Kingdom hat and just now talking about
Yeah.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wearing it the
just
entire time.
He was waiting for the right opportunity to do so.
You know, speaking of not always knowing what's going on, Sean, where can people find you?
I was gonna say,
No idea what's going on. Hit me up down below over here watching with Wingblade Alliteration on YouTube and Twitch. Please give me some subscribers and follows. And I just hit affiliate on Twitch, so subscribe.
congrats, brother.
Give me
Word
some
up.
money. Come watch me die in Call of Duty.
What, you play Call of Duty?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Warzone all
Open
day.
up a black hole, Chris. Or for Chris's sake, let's talk about where we can find this
Who's
man.
playing Call of Duty?
For Chris's sake, you already know wherever you find your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all that jazz. Go ahead and watch for Chris's sake, or listen to for Chris's sake, wherever you find it. I just uploaded an episode where I brought my buddy Cody House on to talk about his favorite movie, La La Land. We talked about that for like an hour and a half and some other things as well. But every Monday, expect new episodes, and I review other movies and shows as well on there. And of course, you can catch me on Watts Real Entertainment. You might have seen that Matt guy not too long ago. I'm on a channel with him and a bunch of our buddies. And you can catch me Spin from the Reel, Schmodown Show on Mondays, Wrestle Reel on Fridays, and some other stuff coming up. But we're also talking Loki on the channel tomorrow. So if you want more of my nonsense, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. So yeah, thanks guys. This is rad.
You can also find me on that channel in the near future playing.
You can.
Doing sports
Are you on
talk.
console or PC for War?
I'm on console. I'm playing
I'm on
an
console.
Xbone.
Yeah,
oh, look
buddy.
at you, PS5.
I have a controller.
Somebody buy me a PS5.
I'll send you mine.
I just want to play Fall Guys.
We always have time for your nonsense, Chris, and maybe obvious or no need for saying, but still, you guys can find me here on the Flick and Reel channel. But if you want to find me on Twitter and deal with more nonsense and see when you can see these guys on the channel again, you can find all that good information at Jesse Swift on Twitter. And there's some Schmodown stuff coming up, so keep an eye out for that. Maybe coming up, maybe not.
TBD.
Give yourself the
All right,
solo.
guys. Well, perfect time for my internet to take a fetch. Unsolo, you did. I don't know who I'm talking about when I said no.
Well, folks, that'll do it for another low-key episode review on the Flick and Reel YouTube channel. Check us out here next week as we
Good thing
discover
we have a bunch of professional
the
hosts.
truth of Kang. This has been Kang Watch.
Kang Watch.
Keep it real. Bye.